This meeting is being recorded.
Got it. I'm gonna have my head down for just a second.
Grand Risings, no problem. Yes, we're taking care of our tech. Grand Risings, beautiful kings and queens, friends and family. Happy to have you here today. We're just going to take one moment to make sure we're going live on Queen Jennie's page because it's important. So happy to be here with you today as we share how to prepare for a juice feast, how to prepare for a juice cleanse. A lot of us have, well, a lot of people have been coming to us asking, but how do I do it? How do I prepare? Some tricks, some tips from two very experienced juicers. Queen Jennie has been going over 248 days. 45?
Yeah,
48?
I think so.
Okay.
I really need to fill out my tracker.
248 days. And she has just been soaring high and really healing deep. I have gone 113 days and I did a few extended juice cleanses, and each time it's been a really beautiful experience, especially if you're well prepared. So today we're going to give you some tips, some tools on how to get yourself ready and have as smooth of a transition into the juice life as possible to ease your detox so that you could have a more enjoyable experience. So let's start it off, Queen Jennie, with the first thing, that the most important thing in getting started with a juice feast.
The most important thing is, drum roll, the big why. Why do you want to do a juice cleanse? That's the most important thing, because your motivating factor is what's going to really keep you going and help you in those times when, maybe you're struggling and really wanting to eat, or, fall off the path that you had intended for yourself. And something really, really helpful that you can do is to sit down and journal about your why, or even make a list, because maybe you have more than one why, like I did. I wanted to improve my health, but also I wanted to improve my relationship with my family and my children, and strengthen the love bond I have with all my family members and extended family. And I wanted to start exercising, and I wanted to transition, into a healthier diet versus like junk food vegan. And many people have so many different reasons. Lena and I have noticed a lot of our clients, their reasons really vary. You might want to quit smoking. I never expected to see that in the group. And then we had someone that had so much success, with quitting smoking, and people wanting to lower blood pressure, or lower your cholesterol. Maybe you want more energy. That's something I really needed, more energy. And now I have way more energy to chase my kids and way more stamina. Um, and I wanted to really improve my relationship with God. So, whatever your reasons are, and they don't necessarily have to be, I think a lot of people relate juice cleansing with, weight loss, which is a great one too if you have weight to lose. But it's not the only thing that you get from a juice cleanse. You get so much more. Juice cleansing really just opens the door to let you see your power, so that then you can apply it in like all situations and aspects of your life to make the healthiest decisions for yourself. So juicing is not just about like weight loss and the body. And well, it's definitely about the body, but it's not just about like weight loss and detox and stuff. It's about changes you want to make for yourself inside too, like emotional stability. That was something else I wanted. I suffered from anxiety and depression a lot of my life, and I really wanted to find a way to cope with that and manage it healthfully. And therapy really helps. But so does group therapy, which is so much of our program, coming together in a therapeutic integration environment. So sit down, make yourself a list of all your different whys, and that's really going to be eye-opening for you. I'd also make a list of any struggles you're having, which will often be many of your whys. So anything I wanted to improve in my life, I wrote down on that list, and it got longer and longer. And Juice was able to help with all of them. So your why is so very important. What do you think, Elaine?
Absolutely. And I was going to say, oh, we should maybe talk about the benefits of juicing before getting into all the whys, but you just said them.
They
The
slipped in.
whys are the benefits of juicing, right? Whether you're struggling with, like you said, all of the issues that you were mentioning, but also like diabetes, even like cysts and tumors and um,
Fibroids.
IBS and fibroids and all these things will be healed. You know what I mean? You may need an extended juice cleanse. We are offering this time around a 10-day introduction to juicing. But if you do choose to go further, if you are dealing with some very chronic issues, a lot of, years and years of inflammation and acidosis in the body, a lot of, parasites in the gut, you may need to go longer. And we're here to support you as well as individually as private mentors. But this program is for 10 days, and it's a great way to reset, and it's a great way to see huge improvements. I mean, already that's how I started too. And I wanted to mention this too, that before Queen Jennie and I did our extended juice cleansing, we had done many 7-day juice cleanses, 10-day juice cleanses. We have been getting our feet wet for many years. So if you are new to this path, this is perfect. And if you have done a few already, this is perfect. This is like, I think it's essential to do at least 1 or 2 of these a year, if not seasonally, every few months, to do a reset, whether it's a little water fast or a juice cleanse, to get the body to eliminate all the old waste that we accumulate. Even as raw vegans, we accumulate waste by, not chewing our food properly. There's a lot of chemicals in our food. There's a lot of agrochemicals, there's pesticides. There's like, the environment isn't so clean. So like, as pure as we are, unless we're living like in the tropics with like the cleanest air and we're eating all our own organic foods from our garden, we are accumulating mucoid plaque day to day to day, and we need to constantly cleanse ourselves. So this is, like you said, a mental, physical, spiritual journey. It's a holistic journey. Juicing is definitely a powerful way to get closer to ourselves, to get closer to God, and to our purpose in life too. We both got activated when we juiced. When we started juicing, we started like, whoa, this is who I am. It's like coming home to ourselves. And for me, that's been, yes, the weight loss was great, the skin improving was amazing, my eyesight improved, my digestion, I tuned into the living foods, everything started improving. I got myself a job when I juiced, like all the abundance started coming to me when I started juicing. And the greatest thing is like, yeah, I found my purpose. I found my tribe. I was like more able to release what no longer served me. Depression started lifting. Anxiety was better. Like I used to have chronic panic attacks. I was so like just anxious all the time. I couldn't even pick up my phone, you guys. Like you can't even believe how anxious I was, how scared I was of everything. And so it gave me a courage in life. Juicing really gave me courage. And I see it in Queen Jennie too. It really gives us courage and strength within to be who we're born to be. It was almost like I felt like I was asleep, it was like asleep. And I had done a lot of plant medicine already by then. I had done a lot of therapy, a lot of talk therapy. I had amazing friends, but it was like, something still wasn't good until I got that old waste out, that mucoid plaque, those parasites, all this literally like shit that was constricting me, that was keeping me toxic. These toxic fumes were coming into me, and I was just not well. Everybody sees a difference in me. They're like, Aline, you're a whole new woman. Like, what happened? And I'm always like, well, I juice. Like, that was the beginning of my true, deepest transformation. So juicing completely saved my life. It set me on a whole new trajectory, connected me to Queen Jennie in such powerful ways. And now I'm helping other people. So in a nutshell, that was, what I didn't really expect was to happen, but it was like this whole snowball effect from saying yes to the call to juice, from saying yes to the call of God, which is to heal myself. And this is, for me, the most powerful, most quickest way to really get all the old waste out. And that's the ultimate goal. Does that answer the
Absolutely.
question?
Absolutely. That was such a good answer. And when you were saying that, it really made me think about something that I really believe, that I tell people, and that, you know, the gut is the devil's playground.
Ooh,
And, you know, when that bacteria is off in there, it changes the way our minds work. And it gives us a lot of background chatter in our heads that causes a lot of the anxiety and things. And when we juice and we cleanse, our sacred temple, our mind really clears a lot. And like Aline said, we're able to hear spirit, the
yes.
Almighty, the universe, God. We're able to hear very clearly, and really recognize like our purpose and our love and all that we have to offer and our power inside,
Yes.
but we have to clean the gut first, and everything else comes with it, and then the doors just start to open, because you really recognize the light of God that you have inside, that you want to shine bright to help others. When you start to feel so good, you start to realize you have gifts, and you
Mhm.
start to recognize your gifts, and you're able to offer them to people. And then it becomes this beautiful energetic exchange where, you are giving and you're receiving, you're filling others' cups, your cup's being filled. So I, like Aline, am also very surprised to have found my purpose in all this. I never expected when I started juicing, like 8 or 9 months ago, that any of this was going to happen. You just don't even know what life and God has in store when we really focus on cleaning out our temple and strengthening our relationship with
Mm.
everyone through love.
Mm.
That's what I think it brings out, like your ability to love, self-care, ultimate form of self-care, like we
Exactly.
always say.
Yes.
Once you start cleaning out your gut, you're going to be amazed at the things that start happening in your life. And even if you're not trying to do an extended cleanse and you're trying to do a 10-day cleanse, that is going to change your trajectory.
Yes.
You're like this and
Mhm.
you want to be like this, go on a juice cleanse. It
Exactly.
doesn't have to be extended. 10 days will get you like motivated and inspired. And it's incredible too, when you remove the food, how much creativity you have to do new things, to put toward projects you always wanted to do, relearning about the things that you love and who you are. Like, you learn so much about yourself. It's such an expansive experience that it's very hard to describe. And that's why Aline and I wanted to do a couple of videos to explain as well, because, a lot of people think about juicing and they're just thinking about the juicing, but until you do it, you have no idea the effects it can have on all aspects of your life, and
Exactly.
not just diet.
Exactly. So there are a few things to keep in mind when you are juicing, First of all, prepare yourself for the time it will take you to juice, right? We definitely want to have a positive mindset about this. If you are working, definitely want to take some time aside. Now, we offer modifications as well in our group. So if you don't have time to just juice, you could purchase some of your juices, right? Especially in the States, you got Whole Foods, you're so lucky. You got like unpasteurized juices. It's very important to get fresh pressed, cold pressed, if you can, organic. If not, that's okay too. Just wash your produce good. I usually soak them in some baking soda before juicing them in hot water or warm water, and then let them soak for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then you juice them. Our favorite juicer is the Nama J2. It is so quick. It is efficient. It is like high yielding. It is like our baby, and we definitely recommend the Nama J2. In terms of juicing, it really helped our experience so much. Also, you're going to need, a cutting board, a good knife, a strainer, some jars or containers, the physical aspects of it. You want to prepare yourself with everything you need. And then also, what would be beneficial is to start preparing your body on a physiological level to welcome in the juices. Of course, you could come into it from a regular, potato, steak, cola diet. Like you could do whatever you put your mind to. We're not saying you can't do it. We've seen people just be like, I'm about to do it. They were drinking, they were smoking, and they went into it. They were ready for it. They, hit the ground running, and they had an amazing, successful juice cleanse. However, the detox can be a little bit more difficult if that's the case. So if you can prepare yourself with, first of all, start making juices already, even if you're not fully juicing. You can start making, one of those big quarts every day. Start your day off with a quart of juice. Already there, you're going to set your body up for receiving that juice, for getting used to it, knowing that that's nutrition. You could also, as you take a sip, you could start mentally preparing yourself by saying like, this is food, this is food, this is food. Like I literally was reprogramming myself on a daily basis, being like, this is my food, this is my nourishment now, because it is. You're actually going to get more nourishment, more phytonutrients than you ever have in your life. Like you're going to flood your body with so much goodness that you're going to have more energy. Perhaps you're going to go through a detox period. We'll touch on that a little bit, right? Sometimes it's got to get worse before it gets better. But at some point, you will start feeling really a lot of energy, especially if you're doing 10 days. You will get that feeling at some point before then. Most likely, not guaranteed. Some people need to go a little bit longer. But again, when I did my first juice cleanse around day 4 or 5, I was like, whoa, like, okay, this feels really good, so prepare yourself with a juice a day, and you could start maybe eliminating, right? Like the refined sugars, the high fat, salty, fried foods from your diet, the animal products, dairy, all the like processed foods. If you're eating chips and candies and cookies, start, reducing, and if you can, eliminating them, so that you can ease into the juicing a little bit easier, and you won't have so much like cravings, right? During
Yeah.
it.
And they'll reduce naturally too if like you said, they start having a juice a day.
Yes,
Those things will naturally fall away too.
exactly.
It won't be so bad to ease up on the cookies when you've had like a fruit juice in the morning because your body had that natural sugar. You may not even want the cookie anymore.
That's
That's
right.
the beautiful thing about incorporating even a juice a day. And even after you end your cleanse, it's still awesome to incorporate a juice a day. So that's
Oh yeah.
excellent, excellent advice.
Oh, definitely. I still, to this day, like most of my day is still juicing, even after I feel the best on the liquids. I do have fruit, I do have salads, but I start my day off with fasting and then juice. That's how I break my fast all the time. And if I can't have juice, then a watery fruit, like an orange or watermelon or a very juicy fruit. But the concept is to break your fast always with liquid and then go more towards the denser foods throughout the day. But yeah, juicing completely transformed my life in all the ways, and it's become part of my life. It's literally like every day I do this because it feels so good, because it's so nourishing, and I feel it when I don't juice. How about that? You feel the difference
Yeah.
if you're not juicing. Sometimes you're like, oh, you forget how bad you felt before, but then if you go a few days, like I've gone a few days sometimes without the juice, and I'm like, okay, something feels off. I don't feel as vibrant. I don't feel as energetic. I'm not going to the bathroom as easy. So it's transformed my life. And I really love to make it part of my daily life. And
This
your
is like
children too.
God's daily vitamin, I think.
Yes,
Like I'm gonna have a juice a day for the rest of my life. But like you're
exactly.
saying, like you have juice every day. Just like if somebody takes a supplement every morning, they take a multivitamin
Yeah.
every morning, and then one day they don't take it.
Mhm.
In the morning, they're gonna feel it like
Yeah.
after a little while, like, oh, I forgot to take my vitamin today. I'm kind of tired. It's
Yeah.
like that, it's like God's multivitamin.
Exactly.
You feel
Exactly.
it.
Tell us a little bit about people who say, oh, it's so expensive to juice. I don't know if I could do this. I know you found some tricks and tips to how to juice on a budget too. And maybe you could tell us a little bit about the produce and what we need to get an idea of what we would need to get in a day, if we're juicing. And again, it depends. Everybody's different. Some people might want more fruit juices, more green juices, but tell us a little bit about your experience.
Okay, so I try to stay, I usually, well, not stay, but like I typically have between 4 and 6 32-ounce juices a day. And that's just my sweet spot that I've found. And it's typically 4, and all our sweet spot is different. Some people drink like 8 a day, but 4 is good for me and I feel energetic. And some days it's more, some days it's less. But some of the tricks that I've found to help with the cost of juicing is actually sometimes the pre-made juices are actually cheaper now than the produce. So, like for instance, right now, if you're anywhere near me, where I am in in the states in the South, if you're anywhere near like an HEB or a Sam's Club, um, those two offer fresh made juices. OJ, which is great. Mono juicing is great to stay for a budget. Like that's my first tip. If you can mono juice, then that's really good. Also, like I was saying, the pre-made juice sometimes is cheaper. So like HEB, you can get a 52-ounce orange juice for I think $7, and it's
What?
fresh and unpasteurized. And I actually just found that, and we just got an HEB nearby. We didn't have one
Amazing.
nearby before.
Oh,
Then Sam's Club was a little bit more expensive, like $10, but then it was like 64 ounces. And then Whole Foods is a little more expensive if you buy the pre-made. But I still highly recommend, keeping a couple pre-made juices in the refrigerator in the case of an emergency. That's one of my big, big tips that really helps. Is really helping our clients out and really helped me. So there were times where I lived off pre-made juice because I had too many things to juggle, and we have to do whatever makes it easier on ourselves. And also, I wish I would have started with this, but I do want to say, I know for some people, it can be hard and outside of the budget. Um, but I know for some of us, it's actually not outside of our budget. We just feel like it's expensive. So I do just want to mention this because people are like, wow, you spend a lot on produce each week. When I've talked to friends sometimes about what I get. But the thing is, you have to consider that, like, I'm not going out to eat either. I
mhm,
used to go out to eat and would spend $50 out to eat. So then
mhm.
at like a meal, like splurge. All of us do it sometimes, maybe not $50, whatever's in your budget. But I'm saying we all splurge on ourselves sometimes, right? With things we don't need. We can ease up on those things we don't need and really invest in ourselves for a while. So yes, I spend more on my produce, but I'm not ordering pizza anymore. I'm not ordering alcohol anymore. Alcohol is very expensive. I used to order cocktails. So that is a way you can offset your produce goals. If you think about it that way, you are not going to be consuming all the other stuff that you would have been consuming before. And during your cleanse, since it's a short one, you may even want to, who knows, you might want to do a little more yoga or spend a little more time outside or do things that don't cost money more. I noticed that as well. So there's a lot of things you can do instead of, going to restaurants or going out and spending money. A lot of times when juicing, you find yourself wanting to ground, to go to the park, to go for a walk, to move your body. So that's naturally going to offset the cost. So I want to throw that out there. And then, like I mentioned, sometimes you can find some pre-made mono juices that are low price. Additionally, check your area for, of course, organic is best, but listen, the sweet spot is all about finding what works for us and not trying to do something so perfectly that we won't do it at all. So if you can't afford organic or you're on a very tight budget and you're trying to juice, another thing that I suggest is looking around for a clearance wholesale store near you. So in our, not super close to us, but in this sort of area I'm in, like I might have to drive an hour or so, there are what they call like grocery clearance stores. And that's when the produce is so ripe that they pull it, but then they sell it in bulk at these stores because they were going to throw it away.
And it's
So you can
perfect
go
for
in there and get,
juicing, like the
yeah, you can go in there
apples
and get
and
like a giant bag of organic kale for like 50 cents. If you're going to juice it that day, then it doesn't matter, you're going to be when we're getting our stuff we're juicing, we're going to be using it in the next few days. So we don't have to worry so much. So that's a big tip for me. Also, look for fruits that give you a lot of yield, like a lot of water. The most watery fruits are going to yield the most juice. So you all know that Jenny is the watermelon queen. Like, and I know it's tough right now because they're going out of season a lot of places. So they're harder to get. But watermelon is a great one because one big watermelon will get you like 6 32-ounce juices or more, and just depending on the size of the watermelon. So when those are in season, that's really, really good. And like I already mentioned, oranges, when they're in season, you can get them too. Another good one is apples, although I will say that I have noticed that they've gone up in price recently quite a bit, but everything has. So I think that we all are just, I think everything's gone up in price across the board, and it's not just produce. So, I know everybody understands that, but those are my big tips for, stretching your dollar on a juice cleanse. Do you have any great ones?
Great.
I need to.
Great tips. No, you're that
Or
that
did
was
I hit
that
them?
was
Hit
all
'em?
yours. Queen. Queen Evie is asking, what juices do we feel best on? Good
Okay, I can
question.
throw
Thanks,
mine
Queen.
out there really quick.
Yeah.
My two favorite juices to have during the day. My favorite fruit juice I love to have, you all know, watermelon, pineapple, mint, lime. That's like the fruit juice I feel the greatest on, the most bright and clear. And then my favorite green juice to make is green apple. And you can put maybe one red apple in there, but keep it green. Green apple, celery, spinach, and jalapeno. That's my
Mm.
favorite green juice.
Ooh,
What about
yum.
you, Aline?
That sounds like a green drink I could get with.
And I don't love the green
We're
juices,
not
but
crazy about the no, lemon ginger blast. We definitely offer modifications for that because we want to enjoy our juice cleanse. We're not about like, oh, you got to go so hard and you got to do it this way and suffer through it. Like the first time I did it, the protocol said I had to drink like 32 ounces of lemon ginger blast, and it is intense. It has a lot of ginger, a lot of turmeric, and I was just like, oh my gosh. But then, I modified it to make it a little bit more palatable. But it is important to get some green juice in your juice cleanse. It's very important for the minerals, for the grounding, especially us women with our hormones, and also for the sodium cravings, for the salt cravings. The celery juice will help to appease those cravings. So like at the end of the day, if you're like, oh my God, I just want to eat, you definitely you want to have some celery juice in your day-to-day and some greens. So yeah, definitely play around with the ingredients, play around. I like to make a V8 as well, or like a V10 vegetable juice with like beets, carrots, cucumbers, celery, parsley, put a little bit of jalapeno too, tomatoes. So it's like, for me, it feels like I'm drinking a soup, So when I do have those cravings, it really helps to appease the salty craving, because our body actually just wants sodium. It doesn't want sodium chloride. It doesn't want the rock salt. Even though I'm still battling my addiction with salt, but I consider it an addiction, and I don't feel like we need it in our day-to-day. So the V8, I feel good. In the evening times, I like to have the green juice personally, and then during the day, I prefer to have fruit. My personal favorite is, I love the Pink Goddess. It has pineapple, beet, green apples, or red, but green gives it like a little tart flavor. So yeah, pineapple, beets, apple, ginger, lime, and I add grapes. Sometimes the grapes add in more yield. But for me, it's the pineapple all the way. Like if I had to choose one juice I had to juice for the rest of my life, it would be pineapple all the way. So I got 6 pineapples right now in my kitchen. I wish they were Belizean pineapple, but I'm not in Belize right now, so it's okay. But yeah, you want to pick them ripe as well. You want to choose you want to wait for them to get yellow, so that they're not like, how do you say, like you could get like prickles on the tongue, and if they're not ripe, they're not good to consume. So make sure they're really ripe.
Yeah, can I mention something? I just
Sure.
want to mention this really quick. It's so quick about the pineapple. I just wanted to say, for those of you who are doing pineapple, because that's also one of my favorites. I mentioned I put it with the watermelon. I love it. What I found is often in the States, it's very, 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 very hard to get a yellow pineapple.
Mm,
And when you buy those green ones, once they pull the pineapple, it's not going to continue to ripen. So I used to make the mistake of buying those green pineapples, waiting for them to get yellow, and they never will.
mm,
Okay. So if you're in the States and you're seeing those super green pineapples without one spot of yellow on them, don't waste your money. Go into the pre-cut section where they cut the fruit up for you, in Whole Foods or wherever you go. Go to the pre-cut section. And when it's on sale, I like to buy the pre-cut pineapple where you can look through the package and see that the pieces are golden. You can kind of smell at the package and know that it's ripe. That way you're not wasting your money because like we already said, it can be pricey sometimes. Well, everything's pricey right now, so nobody wants to waste any money
mm.
on food they can't eat. So that
Definitely.
back
That's
to
a
you,
good
Elaine. I
tip.
just wanted to mention that for our juicers in the States, so that they
Yeah.
wouldn't waste as much money as I have on green pineapples sitting on the cabinet.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's a great, great tip. Great tip. Thank you so much for that. So what else? Also, just yeah, like just keep in mind, don't restrict, as long as you're hungry, as long as you're thirsty, whatever's going on, like you always want to have juice on you. Prepare yourself. If you're going to work, bring a cooler or bring them in the fridge, but like always make sure that you have, a few quarts of juice for the day so that you're not stuck anywhere. You're not like, oh my God, you're in the state of hunger, you're in the state of panic, and then you're going to go to food. So be prepared. Always have some juice on you. If it's easier to, avoid certain social situations, restaurants, things like that, stay home. This is a good time to go within, to go inwards. If you feel comfortable with the ones you're going with, it's okay. You could go out and explain to them what's happening, but sometimes those situations could be a little triggering. Also, some other triggers, to avoid is maybe like watching television that has commercials of pizzas and burgers and things like
Yeah.
that. Avoiding, I know sometimes at home we are making food for our loved ones. That's another thing that could be very challenging. So just for me, like when I was preparing food for my daughter, I always made sure I had juice ready. I wasn't like, I was like putting on my own oxygen mask before taking care of her. I was never like, oh, let me take care of her. And like, no, I had to have the juice on me. Like I really was very careful to always take care of myself so that I didn't fall into, certain food habits or being so
Yeah.
tempted by the food. Because if you're full on the juices, I promise you, you're not going to be hungry for anything else. But you got to stay satisfied. You got to stay hydrated. You got to stay full. And that's the secret to a successful juice cleanse, is really drinking more juice. And it is the answer to everything.
And it's how
um,
you learn your hunger and fullness cues too. This
yes.
will help you learn your hunger and fullness
Yes.
cues versus emotional eating because you can recognize, like, wow,
Mm,
I've had like 1,500 calories worth of juice so far today. That's plenty. I'm not hungry. So what's going on? So another thing I highly suggest when preparing for your juice cleanse and you start having a juice a day is to journal. Start
yes.
talking to yourself,
Hmm.
about your big why, like we talked about anything you want to achieve.
Hmm.
Write down tips that you hear that can help you. Something else really awesome that I did that helped me so, so much is to go explore YouTube. And also, that helps you to not have to see too many food commercials because what Aline said is 100%. Like, I stopped watching TV except for like Netflix or something where I didn't have to constantly be hit with like, subliminal messages about pizza and beer and wings and burgers and, nonstop. And when I started watching sports, actually, again, when basketball season came around, I was far in my juice cleanse, but that's when I realized like I was getting hungry and I'm like, what's going on? And it was the constant commercials,
Hmm.
even like 100 days into a juice cleanse.
Oh yeah.
So I would really recommend, exploring YouTube.
Mhm.
Go look up some juice recipes.
Yes.
Have fun. Look
Yeah.
up whatever your kind of juicer you end up getting. Go look
Hmm.
on YouTube and see what other people are using that juicer. Do they have any good tips for it? What are they doing? Does it get clogged? Is there anything that you need to know? Um, you can look at people's testimonials, whatever you're trying to heal. You can search that on YouTube and see.
Yeah.
look for other juicers who are trying to heal that. And that can really help you. Hearing those testimonials can really help you get motivated and really just give you so many different um, tips. And it's just so helpful. It's actually why Elaine and I even started a YouTube, because both of us are actually pretty shy and, don't actually love coming on camera, you all, but like, juicing gives you confidence. I was telling my friend Tanya, we were talking the other day, and I was telling her, like, I never like lost my fear of sharing.
Mhm.
I just realized my power and my courage and my bravery, So
Yes.
remember that when you want to juice, like, it's okay to be afraid to do something new, but you have the power to do it. You can do it for sure. And sometimes seeing that other people have done it can help you to know that it's possible. So
Definitely.
go on YouTube, check out some juicers and find some people you like. And then also look into some things that you want to do afterward. Like if you want to be transitioning into a raw diet, then you can look into that too on YouTube. And that'll help you with the art of distraction whenever you start juicing as well,
Mhm.
because you can use that for cravings and times when you're having a hard time. You can reach in your toolbox and use that. So
Definitely.
definitely use that to help you get going.
And last but not least, join a support community. Join a community, join some kind of group. More specifically, we cater to juicers in the sweet spot coming up in January. January 1st, we're offering our second round of the sweet spot. We've had such an
Yay.
amazing success with our pilot run, started in November, and we had uh, 18 sweet spotters in the group. Some were doing 3 days, some were doing 10, some were doing 40. And we decided to offer a 10-day juice cleanse, offering modifications for those who would wish, because when we hit those detox periods, right, when we hit those cravings, there's nothing more beneficial than to have a group of people that we could go to, that we could say, hey, I'm struggling, and to know that we're not alone. I think that was the most important thing in my juice cleanse and your juice cleanse, is feeling supported. A lot more chances of success happen when we are well surrounded, when we have a group, when we have coaches, we're receiving the the encouragement that we need as well, right? It's really hard to do this on our own, so we definitely encourage you to reach out to us for more information. kingsandqueensofraw.com to sign up. We also have our free community, Kings and Queens of Raw, if you'd like to join there. But the sweet spot is really specifically catered to the ones who want to go like really deep in their journey and really like take that next step into awakening to their divine selves. Like that's what it's all about. It's really about awakening. It's about activating and saying yes to our deepest, most inner, the lioness and the lion and lioness within, that just want to come out and roar and just really take up the space to influence and have an impact in this world, right? Like, what are we here for? We're here to help each other in whichever way. So if you have some kind of dormant dream inside of you, maybe you're an artist, maybe you're a dancer, maybe you've always had these ideas of, I don't know, becoming a pilot, like whatever it may be, but like people told you couldn't do it, or you're not good enough, or who are you to have that dream? Like, there's so much trauma that's happened in our life that sometimes we don't even know who we are. And I really feel like juicing is the step to awakening to who we truly are and honoring ourselves and finding the courage to rise. So definitely reach out to us for our upcoming program. We would love to have you with us. All of our sweet spotters have been super, super happy with the program, and we've got testimonials and more coming. We're going to be interviewing Queen Kiki this afternoon as well. So please join us to hear her journey as well, because she's gone over 30 days on juicing when she didn't even think she could do one day. That's the amazing thing. The power of community helps us to break through and really fly through our own roof.
Yes, so many of us are suffering in silence and we think we're alone, suffering with our anxiety or with our obesity or with our stress levels or our fatigue or But we're not alone. That's the thing, you know. The worst thing we can do is isolate ourselves. And I was so guilty of that myself. And I didn't understand the harm that it was doing until I found my friend Aline, and she really helped me with my juicing and supported me. And I could never go as far until I had that support from her, until I could call her and say, you know, hey, what's going on? Like, this is happening. Is this normal? You know, or hey, I've had a hard day. Like, this is what's happening. And, you know, and that's what we want to do for you all. We want to be that support for you all, to comfort you after a hard day, to help you through those rough moments, to let you know that you're not alone, and to help you formulate a plan. And another thing I want everybody to do too before your juice cleanse is to start looking at the way you speak to yourself, and just make sure that you're starting to shift your thoughts to positive thoughts so that you can be successful. You know, the devil really messes with our mind and that gut bacteria, and we tell ourselves all these negative things, like Aline was saying, that aren't true, you know. And what we really want to start doing is quieting that voice and bringing out the God within, you know, that beautiful love that we have inside, you know. Once we start sharing it with each other, and as once we start sharing it with ourselves, that's when we can share it with the world. And that's what Dr. Sebi said, and he was so right on that.
Oh, yes. Love is the answer. Love is the key. So beautiful, sister. I love you so much. Thank you for doing this
Me too.
important interview. We do have a sweet spot guide as well that comes with the program, which offers modifications, some tips, some tools. And included in this, I will include my 40-day juice cleanse protocol as well. For those who join the sweet spot, that'll be a bonus. I created this protocol for those who want to go 40 days and plus. It includes the husk and clay protocol, some recipes, and also some helpful tips to help you carry through for 40 days and plus. So I'm going to throw that in there with joy and happiness.
Wow. What a beautiful gift. Thank you,
Thank
Queen. That's so
you.
kind of you.
Thank you
For
so
anyone
much.
who's not joining the Sweet Spot, can they purchase it on the website if they would like?
Yes, they can. They
Oh,
can.
perfect.
I'm going to put the link back up, but I will do that today, and they could definitely purchase it on kingsandqueensofraw.com. So hope you have a
Awesome.
wonderful day. Thank you so much, Queen Jennie, for all your hard work, for your perseverance. You are the true definition of, when we put our mind and heart into something, we can do absolutely anything, because you didn't think you could do it, but you changed your mindset. You got on those knees and you started praying, you connected with God, and look at all the amazing things that you're doing, and look at all the amazing people that you're helping and the lives you are saving.
Oh
First
my
and
God,
foremost,
thank you.
your own.
And
Yeah.
it's a mirror. It's a mirror, you know. You are doing the same. It's so beautiful how you're helping people and bringing people together. Additionally, if you all don't know, Aline created a support community called Kings and Queens of Raw. So if you're interested, it's a very, very loving and gentle group, just as we are in the Sweet Spot. We really believe in inclusivity. So just know that if you want to juice with us, if you're vegan, if you're not vegan, if you're high raw, if you're not high raw, if you want to juice only one juice a day or 3 juices a day, or you just want to have smoothies, like we have something for you. And it's a no judgment zone. So I just want you all to know that,
Uh,
so no one is concerned. Because
yes.
yes, Aline and I just believe in all the love, and she's doing big things. Join Kings and Queens of Raw because it is beautiful, and you can get more information too. You'll see Aline and I there more as well. And this community is saving lives as well. You know, Aline is really out there doing God's work, and I'm so proud and honored to be doing this with you. And it's just so grateful. So
Well,
thank you.
I couldn't have done it without you, girl. You definitely encouraged me when I was so scared of doing anything, and how are we going to do this? But you stood by me from the very beginning, and you have been, this community is you, you know, you are everything. We created it together, you know, it's a team effort. And thank you for everybody who's believed in us and who has fanned our flames over the years and really helped us to be here. And it's all about giving back. I'm only giving back what was given to me, and so are you.
Yes.
We're just we're paying it forward. And if we can all do that a little bit, this world would be such a more beautiful place. If we could all just be happier, feel healthier, and want to help each other.
Give
It's
more
a beautiful
love,
world.
give more help, more support.
Yes,
And that's what the group is all about. So y'all are getting a little taste of the vibe, basically. It's all love.
definite.
Mhm.
Love you so much, Angel. Thank you for your time and your precious energy. And thank you to all who
You too
joined
as
us
well.
today. We will see you very soon. Take care.
Thank you. See all
Bye.
you future sweet spotters.
Yes.
Mwah.
Bye.